My name is PearlescentMoon and welcome back to Hermitcraft Season 10, Episode 20. In the last few episodes, we established this lovely big flower shop right behind me, as well as creating the new deduction minigame. I've been working on the flower shop for a little bit now, and while it very much does need an interior, it is as empty as all things come. But I'm going to interrupt my current process with a bit of another urgent project that we want to get kicked off on the server for the rest of the hermits to utilize. I was recruited by ZDAF a little bit ago to rock and roll with creating the portal design and a podium spawn area for the server's gaming district. So it is about time that we hopped to that. And no, that bit wasn't on video, it was kind of just a private discussion by us in Discord as something that I could kind of pick up to do on the server. And you know, once we get this in, the hope is very much that the hermits see the establishment and then add games to the area, as well as giving us the space for some fun competitions. And from my base, all you have to do in order to get there right now is we gotta fly towards Cub and Cleo's area off in this direction. We're gonna keep flying straight past this and we'll eventually find ourselves in the area that we need, and you can see it coming up on us right over there. Popping down on here, you can also see a beautiful, nice space already laid out for us to actually get going and get started. The design of the gaming district is going to be as follows. We're going to have 3 spokes coming out from the center here, all leading to paths with games on either side of them. The portal that I will be tasked to create today is going to be the centerpiece, as you can see right here. But the last area off to the front here, well, it doesn't really look much of a usable area, does it? But that is going to be for the aforementioned podiums. Once all these spoken areas are established, we're hoping it's going to get that competitive spark going that we need. Now, we also don't want this area to stand out too much and take the attention away from the games because, well, it is the gaming district after all and not the portal district. So the kind of design direction that I'm hoping to go in is I want it to blend in a little bit more with the vanilla terrain with more of a natural feeling, because it's still going to have its own feeling of a statement piece, but yet not be too bold that it takes away from everything around it. With all of that said, I do have a bunch of resources right here, primarily quite a bit of stone that we'll be using to create this spoken piece, and I am very excited to get started and to get going. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of resources. So, you know what time it is. It is time to grab that popcorn, put the feet up, and let's roll the time lapse. Usually this is the time where I bring a hermit in for a bit of a hermit tour because it's kind of a larger build, but it's just me on the server. The good old lonely Australian, no one's awake yet. So you'll just have to deal with me for this one. But alas, we now have a portal and podium area for the gaming district. And look at this thing. It's so green, it's so fluffy, it's so structural and muddy, and I like it. I will be honest, when I was first creating this design, it did actually take me a hot second to actually kind of warm up to the whole thing. And I did also get, you know, confirmation from B-dubs that it was actually a decent design. It was just like, I just had to finish detailing it. And I think after everything, it came out okay. The colors are exactly where I wanted to go with this thing, keeping it very natural, very earthy, so it doesn't swamp out any of the mini games around it. By the time everything is built up around here, it should blend quite nicely without sticking out like a big obnoxious thumb. And what an obnoxious thumb is, I don't even know. I don't know where that came from. It's a pretty good example having actually Cub's pot shop minigame right next to it, because it still holds its own despite being a lot smaller, but the colors used in it allow it to kind of compete with this properly despite it being such a difference in size. Either way, let's talk about all the intricacies of the details that are added for this thing. Now, the portals themselves, as you can see, are in a structure that looks a little bit like kind of a castle pillar design that's just been left behind despite not really being too much else related to the castle next to it, but I think it works in design. We have some nice curved archways here for the portals to reside in, and I've also used some purple stained glass in the diagonal, so it makes it look like there's even more portals than there actually is. It's always just a nice little kind of tip and trick that I like to do when you're trying to put portals in areas that they just really can't go in because of the constraints of it. But I think this thing works out. If we pop in a free cam real quick here, let me do a proper overview for you. Surrounding the portals, we have all of the lush greenery in the middle. It looks like it's kind of been looked after because it stays within these bounds. And I think it works as a nice pop of green to split up all of the mud and the dirt pathing that I've got going on. But a cute little touch in there I've also added is some light blue terracotta to make it look like the portals are bleeding out a little bit. And despite that not being like a gradiented effect properly between the jungle and the light blue terracotta, I feel like it still pretty much works. And with the sun going down, we can see that light bleeding out too, which helps it even more with how the jungle would look. And I really, really like that. But I have decided to use the dirt pathing all the way around here, and it bleeds over to the podium area right over the top of the ravine. Now, this is over the top of the ravine because Zed actually mentioned to me that it might be cool to maybe have losing players kind of fall down or something. I don't know, but he might want to use that space later on. So who knows what's going to happen with that. But I thought that was kind of cool to have that over, in which this also has some really nice structural supports to make sure, you know, it doesn't fall down, even though it's Minecraft. And you know, I had to add a little bit of flags here to show that it is a competitive zone. It is the gaming district after all. It's not just a portal design. I had to make it look like there was something gamey in there. Before we go randomly dying at night, let's take a little bit of a snooze. Ooh, see, there's a creeper. I'm telling you, we don't need holes in the new build. Thank you. And you know, because I love greenery, I had to add myself some lovely trees and rocks with my usual gradient of the cobbled deep slate, the tough block stone, and then andesite, and the trees themselves with the spruce leaves, the birch leaves, and the azalea leaves, or azalea, whichever way you want to say it. I'm thinking in the future I do want to add a few more kind of leafy greens around the place, kind of just like this little tree over here, something to support the area around it so that it blends a little bit more with the landscape, but I think this is working out. And I would say one of the last final details that I do want to mention is I have added a whole bunch of mud brick and jungle and spruce pillars all around the place embedded within the rocks, and they're not all symmetrical. It's a very asymmetrical design, just to show that some more of the design is actually bleeding into the landscape around it. And hopefully now that this is in, maybe more hermits are going to build some more games over here, and we'll get to go and play some new funky creations that hermits create. I am so excited about that. But now that I've been sitting here building for a little bit, you know what? I actually want to do a little bit of pranking for today. I haven't done that pretty much the entire season so far. I mean, I did a little bit of pranking here and there, but I don't know. Today, I'm just in one of those moods. So, let's go have some fun. First things first, you know we gotta buy out Gem's pickles. There is a lot of pickles there for me to buy. I do not need this many pickles, let it be known. I have already got a lot of pickles in my storage chest, but it's for the bit, okay? That's actually a good amount of pickles. I could totally use that in trees, it's fine. After me buying out those pickles, you might have noticed a few little fun things in my inventory, and I have this right here, the lovely Gemini of the Tay. We have a notebook, and I've got an Enderman with some custom audio on it to play in Gem's base. Dook.
Hey, Gem, you got any pickles?
Now, if I pair that with some skulk sensors and some redstone, I think this could be a fun potential little prank. All I'm gonna do is place a few skulk sensors down like this, a repeater poking out of them, a nice little pulse extender to keep the signal active for a little bit longer, and then connect that redstone to the notebook.
Hey, Gem,
and
you got any pickles?
That's gonna play every now and again when Gem is near it, but because Gem is such an active person, she does walk around a lot, she's going to be constantly setting this off, so it won't go off immediately straight away until she just stops and stands and slows down for a little bit, and then she moves and it'll play again.
Hey, Gem, you got any pickles?
Look at this space of Gem. So many places where I can put some pickle audio. Number one has got to be in this building right here. Ooh, isn't it? Why is there a rent head in a jar? All right, you know what? It's fine. Not gonna question it, it's all good. But let's chuck one in here somewhere. Maybe probably under the floor. There's even a scar hit. Jam! What are it? There's an exquisite head in a jar. This is terrifying. Is this what's gonna happen when I put pickle audio in her base? Okay, well, I'm gonna go underneath this so that she doesn't know it's there. One little notebook there. Wait, how is that powder? Jam, have you got... Is there something redstone under here? Hello? What is... Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe not this. All right. Maybe not this. Okay, Jam, you can have your secrets. That's fine. Have your little base secrets. Have your ether worship areas. Okay, I gotta find another spot. Maybe over this side of the build is better. Boop. That one on top. Redstone dust. Paradise. Repeater. And a skulk sensor.
Hey, Gem, you got any pickles?
Yes. All right, and if you chuck some water on that,
Hey,
that...
You got any pickles?
Yeah, I'm going to annoy myself doing this thing. But if you chuck some water on that, that then silences it. So whenever she walks by, she will not hear the skulk sensor. Absolutely fantastic. And good luck, Jim. And now, if she is just walking down like this, not a care in the world, walking
Hey, Jim.
past...
You got any pickles?
She's going to get that suddenly.
Jim.
Oh,
You got
gosh.
any pickles?
All throughout her face. All right. Let's add some more in. Yoink.
Hey, Jim. You got any pickles?
Ah, no, I keep breaking my redstone. That's the second... it's the second time that's happened. Ooh, you know we gotta put one in the storage. Boop, bloop, and... Bloop.
Hey, Jim. You got any pickles? Nice.
And one in this building over here would be great. Now, the building I was doing is there, but I've gone to use this walkway instead because there wasn't actually a lot of room under that building, but I think this works. This is the path to green space.
Hey, Jim.
And yeah,
You got any pickles?
she's gonna set it off while walking over to greens. Ah, yes. Okay, good spot. One for the mailbox, maybe. Jim, you haven't even opened your mail yet. You've got all this mail you haven't even touched, and Jim's fireworks hasn't even touched those. Jeez, Jim. Open your mail. Maybe another one off in a random field somewhere. Gotta cover all of the base after all. Okay, unfortunately, I am out of skulk sensors now, but I reckon the amount that I've put around the base should definitely do the trick. We are not done yet, though. Let's add in some little final touches. I think a few of these around the place should go quite nicely. Accompanied by some lovely friends, of course. And all you gotta do is just even add a few little cheeky ones hidden in some corners. Smiley face. And you know I had to chuck in a classic line because what is this shulker mess? Come on, Jim. It must be a current project, but still. What's this? A pickle monster? Did I spend all of my diamonds on the pickles just to give Jim the pickles right back? I guess so. Do I regret it? No, not really.
Hey, Jim. You got any pickles?
Well, if she didn't before, she sure does now. But I think that'll do for our prank for Gem for today. I'm gonna go prank another unsuspecting hermit on the server if I can just get out of the water. Yeah, there we go. Got it. There is a certain neighbor by the name of Ethos Lab that has this beautifully gorgeous house over here with a bit of a dirty cherry tree that is absolutely fantastic in its structure, but there's no roof. And there hasn't been a roof for months. I'm thinking, why don't we do the really kind neighbor thing and just give him a little bit of a hand? And luckily for me, I have an absurd amount of purple that would go beautifully on that roof of his. I reckon this lovely shulker box of mine will do the job just nicely. Seeing as his roof is made of stairs, let's continue the trend, shall we? And let's get ourselves to work. You know, the great thing about being Australian is that you can pull a whole bunch of pranks on the server and no one notices because everybody's sleeping. It's so peaceful. I don't know about you guys, but I think that looks pretty good. I mean, look, he has a roof. You know, he's sheltered from the weather. Looking good. Look at how well that purple blends in with the warped planks. It's like the best combination I think I've ever seen. Would you look at that? And I even gave him a little chimney off to the side as well. A couple little extra rooftop triangle little bits jutting out of it too. Ah, look at that. Magnificent. You know, I don't think this is a prank after all. I think this has got to be just something to help him out, you know? In all seriousness, I'm really curious how long he's going to keep that there. But, you know, hopefully it might inspire him to get that roof done, right? The shape at least looks kind of cute. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any particular like hermit interactions in this episode for today. It's a bit of a contrast to the last one, I know, but hopefully those pranks do suffice for now. In the meantime, we're gonna actually go head over to the shopping district because there's a few extra little updates and things to check out over there. Check out these huge, brand new, shiny buildings on the edge of the shopping district. Hello, and I mean straight away you can tell kind of whose style both of these are. But regardless, number one, we have a new courthouse on the server. Sue today, or rather Sue today. Instead of today? I don't even know, but okay. So we got a little bit of server politics going on. Hello, free sue papers. You're being sued by your name here. I don't think I have anyone to sue. in this moment of time. But there's building number 1. And just to add on, that building was by the lovely B-dubs, of course. And building number 2 is the new Popo HQ, built by Scar. So Scar and Skiz will be using this building to carry out their Popo duties in the shopping district. And it looks like we also have a bit of a pop-up shop band countdown timer here as well. Now, we all know that Scar told us not too long ago that my trucks quote-unquote didn't count as pop-up, so I don't feel at any risk of this timer whatsoever. But there is still one permit that I haven't actually built a shop for, and that is my granite permit. It's still sitting in a chest, so there is a little bit of concern over that one, but otherwise, that's pretty cool. I don't believe that building has any interior yet, as you can see, so we won't be able to go inside. And well, we'll go inside that one when the time calls for it, if there is a time for it. Apparently I can't English today, don't mind me. The reason that I came to the shopping district though is I actually want to check out my trucks, because I know there's a little bit of a profit in my Popo truck. Cleo went shopping in it, honestly, quite some time ago. I just kept forgetting to come over here and empty it, but Cleo went shopping, proceeded to overpay for the stock in my chest on purpose. They knew about it and bought a whole bunch of different things in here. Hold on, let me just double check. Yes, over here as well. Wait, that's all more than I expected, actually. I know Cleo overpaid by 2 diamonds per whatever they bought, but there was some extra diamonds in there. Is someone using endstone bricks? Have we got any profits in here? Sadly not. Okay, well, I was hoping for the best. But look at that. The Popo truck is making diamonds. How on earth has this truck, this little cat bus thingy-majiggy, made more diamonds than the bone truck? The bone truck, you sadden me greatly. We'll check the truck anyway. Let's see if it's made any kind of profit at all. I haven't had to restock this thing. Hey, there we go. I was gonna say I haven't had to restock this thing in, honestly, weeks. Probably once since I actually made the thing. Yoink. And nothing in the front either. This truck should never need to be upgraded. Like, there is plenty of room for the stock in that thing. Okay, flower truck. Hello, hello, because we haven't moved. Ooh, 18 diamond. Wait, did someone restock it recently or what? I don't know. I'm not going to worry too much about restocking this thing until, of course, we get that. Ooh, here's some more diamonds. Get that interior in for our actual flower shop across the way. Oh boy. And it could not come sooner. More in here. No one wants the actual flowers though, unfortunately. Okay, we'll chuck the flower shop ones in here because we're going to be splitting that with Corrales, of course. But some insane profits going on. I know it's not as good as some certain other members on the server, but for those permits, I'll take it. Speaking of the flower shop, I have one more fun update to give you all. Per the feedback in the previous episode of players wanting to be able to see the letters without hovering over them, I've been creating a few extra little textures for the dies. And per my own restrictions that I wanted to put on it, I didn't want to completely retexture these dies to something to like a full letter or anything. I wanted it to be a bit of a mix of vanilla and a mix of quality of life. So we now have some cute little pixel letters just in the corner to help them read a little bit easier. You can see the letters in your hands, and when they're placed down on the item frames, this is what they look like. I think it looks pretty good and is a fun way to combine both the vanilla and custom RP gameplay. And a fun little detail that you might notice on each of the letters is that the letters are actually different colors. They are color picked from the dies themselves, just for a nice stylization and to keep the color theme going. Sadly, I have not made the 10-minute audio yet for hard mode, but the game is officially open for hermits to come in and play. I have set the word for the week, so I'm not going to say it in this video because spoilers. So we'll let you know in the next episode what the word is and how many hermits ended up playing. Sadly though, for now, I think that is actually going to be the end of the episode for today with those updates complete. I feel like today we didn't really get as much done, but the big build kind of took up its own chunk of time and we did a little pranking too, so I think it ended up okay. But I hope you all enjoyed the video regardless. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below. Next week, we'll be absolutely diving into the interior of the flower shop, and I've got some fun little tricks that I really am excited to show you in the next video. So I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye everybody!